Hello, everyone. So I'm back with another update for my Productiv app, a whole 6 months later. The reason being is at the time, I hadn't really worked with Firebase very much, so I really didn't know what I was doing, to be honest. And apparently, if you don't write the rules correctly after I think 30 or 60 days, it basically kind of locks you out of your database. So you're not able to read or write to it. And so right when I hadn't finished the app, but it was done enough. And I had actually put it on my portfolio, even though it wasn't done, because in my opinion, it was the most impressive app that I had made at the time, especially considering this app is written entirely in vanilla JavaScript. I'm not using a framework. I hadn't even really learned React yet. Um, but yeah, so I would add like tasks, and then they would just come up blank. And then I later found out it was because I couldn't read or write to the database. So that's why. So yeah, 6 months later, I have learned quite a lot, I might add. And it's kind of interesting just to go back to an old app. Just because being that I'm now in the field as a software engineer, that's more so like what I've been doing is working with already existing code that could have been written 6 months ago, a year ago, who knows. So it just, I don't know, it's a good practice without being at work. So yeah, so let me run through the additions or changes or bug fixes that I've made. So you're able to log in, click the login tab, and I added a demo user so you wouldn't have to register. Just click login as demo user, it pre-populates the form, and then hit login, and bam, demo user is logged in. Excuse me. Click on tasks and all tasks. I realized on the task view, I never made a way for you to complete the to-do. You can delete it, you can edit it. If you click on this little caret down button, it shows you more details. But then I realized oh wow, you can't even finish, you can delete it, but you can't complete it. So I added a checkbox here. And what it does is when you click on it, it grays it out, kind of giving it like a disabled look a little bit. Now the actual functionality, the JavaScript part of it behind the scenes is not, I haven't even implemented that yet, but ideally what I want is I need to add a whole other property to my task, like a status or something. It'll either be completed or not completed, or Boolean, make it true or false, something like that. So that I can sort based on the status of the task, and also to persist it. Because now, if I go click on something else and I go back, see, it loses the check state. But yes, that's one thing that I need to add. And also here, another thing I noticed is looking at the entire all task view, it wasn't apparent enough when a task was overdue. So I added this different styling here. I changed the date to red, and I added overdue and 2 exclamation points in all caps. And how I do this is, now mind you, this app is made with JavaScript and Webpack. I'm not using a framework. So anytime you click on any of these, this whole screen basically is re-rendered. I use a create element. So all this is literally made as soon as you click on the app, as soon as you click on the different views. So because of this, I added a condition in there that, because I'm passing in the object properties into I think it's called render to-dos function or something like that. There's a date function on there, which is this date right here. So I passed the date in, and I already had a get today's date function. So I basically compared these two dates. If the due date for the to-do that's getting passed in is less than the current date, then it's considered overdue. And so I added a different class to it, and that's why it has a different styling. All right, and if you scroll down, so all these are overdue. And starting with today's date and beyond, they don't have that red styling and they don't say overdue. So once the date is no longer less than the current date, if it's either the current date exactly and in the future, it just has the default black text styling. All right. Another thing I added is click on due today. Before, like now I'm on the due today page. If I added a to-do, it wouldn't, once you close the form or once you submitted a new to-do, it wouldn't put you back on the screen that you were just on. I think it would default to taking you back to the all tasks because I hadn't figured out at the time how to remember what page I was on before I did that. So now, this task, I think I already have another version of that sentence already when I was testing before. All right, so put today's date, hit create. This task should be done today, and I'm still there. I'm still on the today page. All right, and also, sorry, I can't even talk. Another thing that I did is I ordered the dates. I used the order by function from Firebase because before it just was random. Like the first date, first task could be due 6 months from now, and the one right under it could be due 6 months in the past. So it was all over the place. So I use the order by function to order by date so that whatever's due soonest or overdue, they're up top. And then what's due the furthest away is all the way at the bottom. All right, another thing I did is before you could open up, like, see how this is highlighted in gray and it's expanded? You could expand all three of these at the same time. Now I figured out how to, like now if I click on widgets, it'll automatically close the task page. And then I'll click on something else, it'll change the screen. I just think it's a nice touch rather than having so many things open. But yeah, let's see, what else did I do? I changed I added the on snapshot function from Firebase to constantly listen for any time I add a to-do, edit a to-do, or do something to a to-do. It'll pull down the newest, most current version of all my tasks. Because before, I think I had to, like, even if like I refreshed the page or something, I had to click dashboard a second time for it to get the most current numbers here. I think before it would be all zeros. So now, for example, let me add a task. I don't even care about this one, so I'm just going to type a bunch of random letters. It automatically jumps from 42 to 43. And then if I refresh the page, it brings me right back to 43. And another thing I noticed, which is cool, is say I go to due today. Now the inbox is anything that is due today or overdue. So I'm going to delete one of these, and that now it's currently at 25. Delete it. Bam, it's at 24. I think that's all that I've changed so far. Future tasks, which I don't even know if I'm going to do this one, is because I tried to find a good example to show how I can upload a picture to Firebase, because right now I can upload a picture. However, this picture is not persisted. If I refresh the page, it's gone. I want it to be that it's tied to your login, but so far I just can't figure out how to connect all the dots to upload the image to Firebase and to bring it back down. So for now, it may just be like a little local thing. I don't necessarily want to spend but so much time on this app just because it is such an old app. It's more so just I wanted to get it functional so I could share it just for fun, really. But yeah, thanks for watching.